Hey my sweet pen friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Devin. I hope you're all having a wonderful start to your new year, and with the new year comes a bit of reflection. So for today's video, I thought I'd sit down and share 3 ways journaling has changed my life. I suppose we should start from the very beginning. My earliest journaling memory was actually when I was in kindergarten, and I had this beautiful Disney princess locked journal, and I remember writing something about having a crush on a boy that I went to school with, and I wish I still had that journal just to look back on and see some of my other thoughts. But as I said, that was my earliest journaling memory. I didn't really keep a journal throughout the years. I did try to revisit it in middle school / high school. That was right around the height of Xanga and Tumblr. So if you remember, or if you had one of those, I want you to shout out in the comments below. But that's primarily where I journaled. I journaled online. I shared my thoughts with the world, that teenage angst. It wasn't until 2016 that I made the return to pen and paper, and it was right around this time that I was feeling the most discouraged and, dare I say, depressed that I had ever felt in my entire life. I was feeling lost and disconnected. At that time, I was running a dance studio with my sister, and that was everything to me. We were starting to face a lot of challenges and ultimately ended up closing in 2017, which hit me really hard. So having a journal was the most essential resource to me during this really difficult time. I've been journaling on and off since then, and I've seen such huge benefits in my life currently. I don't think much has changed when I look back on 2016 versus me now, but so much really has changed in terms of my mindset and perspective, and that's all thanks to journaling. So the first way journaling has changed my life is it provided a space for all of my thoughts. Initially, when I started journaling in 2016, I made a gratitude log, and that was a good way to start. It was very simple. I would just write 1 or 2 sentences of what I was grateful for that day, and gradually it progressed into something so much more. From there, I discovered morning pages, which is 3 pages of stream of consciousness first thing in the morning. And this is an exercise from the book The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. So if you want to check that out, I'll have it linked off in the description box below. Morning pages for me were the key to everything. It served as a sacred space for me to dump all my thoughts without judgment. And it really forced me to sit down with my most vulnerable self. I didn't like who I was. I didn't like how I felt, but I needed to deal with it and face it. In a way, it's sort of therapeutic to just think about what you're thinking and why you're thinking it. And this sort of brings me into my next point, which is journaling helped me document and collect data. When I was journaling consistently every day, so many common themes in my thoughts and actions became oh so clear. And while I thought things were happening to me in my life, it was really me reacting to my environment and certain circumstances. So once I started to recognize some of these patterns and fears, I was able to figure out a way to address them. I would say up until very recently, a lot of my entries were me complaining and venting, and I think that's absolutely okay. I would rather have it go down on paper than it bubble up and negatively impact my loved ones and the people around me. But it was almost like there was a shift in my approach to journaling, and I think that came with just getting tired of writing like these really discouraging thoughts every day. It was almost like I got fed up with myself, and it was like, if I feel this way, how can I change it? Because I obviously don't like it. So an entry from February of 2020, so as I said, pretty recent, I wrote, "I just don't feel like writing today. I wanted to write about Start With Why, which is the book I was reading at the time, and what I think my why is, but I'm feeling so much resistance to it right now. I mean, I think my why, my purpose, is to arm others with the courage to create. When I look back on my life, I think for some crazy reason I felt stifled to be creative. Or maybe I struggled with the image I thought it gave me, but that's how I want to spend the rest of my life. I want to spend my life creating beautiful things and encouraging others to do the same. Pay attention to those creative sparks. See what and how you will light up the world. So for me, that just is the perfect example of my mindset shifting, and that's all thanks to journaling. Again, I collected and documented so much data, and that was me feeling a certain type of way, discouraged, depressed, lost, disconnected. And after recognizing and building up so many pages and pages of that, I started to be okay with sitting in those feelings and saying that's a part of life, but how do we make the best of it? How do we address it, and how do we make ourselves better one word at a time? The next way journaling changed my life is it gave me a space to dream and plan. I feel like that is something that we may have forgotten this past year, and I don't want to take away or disregard anyone's pain or challenges from 2020. Those are absolutely valid, but I think we all deserve to see the light and see hope in our futures into the next day and the day after that. Again, after recognizing certain patterns and fears that kept coming up in journal entry after journal entry, I was able to figure out how I wanted to move forward and ultimately reframe my mindset. I think it's important for you guys to know that early on when I was journaling, I felt worthless. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I didn't know who I was supposed to be without running my dance studio, without owning a small business. I had just tied my identity to being this young entrepreneur, and having to close those doors made me feel like a failure. And I couldn't let go of that feeling. I thought Devin is synonymous with failure. If you looked up failure in the dictionary, you would find my name listed in that entry. And I had many a conversation with my husband and my sister about how I was feeling, but being able to write it down on paper and not filter how I was feeling helped me so much. It took me 4 years of journaling and introspection to get to this point right now where I'm feeling the most secure that I've ever felt. I'm feeling the most excited and fulfilled. And I feel as though I see the world through this lens of a growth mindset. And that's not to say that I still don't have days where I feel anxious and alone, but I know that I have pen and paper to turn to, and that is the most beautiful thing to me. I feel like on the outside, it may seem that there are external factors that have changed since 2016. I no longer have my dance studio, but now I have my own shop. I am a content creator. I have a podcast, and I'm living my most creative life. So yes, those things have changed, but internally, I feel like that's where the most change has happened. And like I said, it's all thanks to pen and paper. And if you really want to get into it, that's why I started this YouTube channel. I turned to pen and paper whenever I felt alone, and I want all of you to know that you can do the same. You don't have to feel alone. You deserve happiness and fulfillment and sorry. Journaling can be a tool and resource for you to achieve that. I'm done. I'll leave it at that. I'm sorry, I thought we were so close to finishing this video without me breaking down, but it is what it is. I would love to hear from you. How has journaling changed your life? And if you haven't started yet, I'd love to hear how you would like for it to change your life. Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to share it with a pen friend who you think might also enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe and to turn on those notifications. That way you don't miss any of our videos. I do my best to upload here every Wednesday at 8 a.m. PST, so please take care until then. Feel free to enjoy these two videos linked here on the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.